Welcome to the Sophia Speaks podcast. This is where I, Sophia, a real woman, speak to real women and some men about issues that matter to real women. Sometimes our conversation will be heavy. Sometimes they'll be light, but they are always informative and will always make you think. If you have a comment or want to ask a question, call 786-749-TALK. That's 786-749-8255. Now, without further ado, let's talk about it. As always, welcome to another episode of the Sophia Speaks podcast. I'm so glad that you are here. This is my first episode of 2019, so I am glad that you're able to join me. If this is your first time, welcome to the roller coaster that is my life. Well, at least for this episode. Normally, I discuss current events, have awesome guests, or talk about my coaching practice and ways I've discovered to help my clients. But today I am recapping sort of the Reader's Digest version of the last 6 months of my life, or at least since I've last recorded an episode. It's important to know that my show type hasn't changed very much, meaning that I'm going to make mistakes. I'm going to have awkward pauses, and I'm just going to be a normal human being that just happens to have a microphone and share the name with the podcast, right? So I don't do any editing. So what happens here is what happens. You're going to get the open, awesome, raw live me. So this is it. So now for the details. I've moved. So I'm no longer in South Florida, the Fort Lauderdale area. I have moved north to be closer to my parents. My father is getting up in age now and he needs a bit more help. So I was the one, me and my family, that were in a position to actually move and be there for him. So again, I'm no longer in South Florida. I am actually in Southwest Florida. So about 3 hours north of where I was before. And I can say that I'm glad to be here. Life is a little bit slower, and it seems that I am able to reconnect on levels that I kind of lost out on being in the city. Also right now, rebuilding relationships. Because of my obligations to work, coaching, life, and everything else that came up along the way, many of my familial relationships fell by the wayside. So let me be clear. This was all my fault. I'm accepting responsibility and being accountable. I experienced distance in my marriage, with my children, and with myself. I wasn't following a lot of my own rules in coaching, being that I wasn't taking a lot of time for myself or the people who I cared so much about. So as a result, distance happened and we kind of fell apart. But we are working to get things back together. So as a coach, it isn't supposed to happen, right? I'm supposed to be the know-it-all who does everything right and my life is perfect. Let me tell you, nothing is further from the truth. So I'm a human being before anything else. I neglected relationships and they suffered. The move allowed me to slow down and concentrate on getting back on track. I've had to coach myself through this process, and after about 100 days of consistent work, things are looking up. So I am super happy to be back. And I said to myself, I wasn't coming back until things were looking better. Things were doing better. Now, financially, my life sucks. My financial life sucks simply because I haven't been working as much. I've not gone to a brick and mortar job. I've been doing little side hustles here and there, and it's just enough to stay afloat. So I haven't been saving and doing the things that I normally would going to a brick and mortar job. But, things are looking up nonetheless, so I'm happy. Let's see what else has been going on. I've reevaluated my business life. So as you know, or if you're new, you're going to learn that I am a blogger, a speaker, live streamer, podcaster, and a coach. And I'm sure there are a few other things that go with this list, but you probably can't tell from the amount of work that I've been doing the past few months, but I digress. It's necessary to evaluate what's working and it's time to let go. What's time to go on or put on the back burner, at least for now. If by chance I choose not to let anything go, I need to make a schedule that works for my life. And I hope you're picking up what I'm putting down, meaning that nothing will be perfect. Some days will be up, some days will be down, but you just have to persevere through it and work it out. And the irony of it all is not more than 30 seconds ago, I mentioned streamlining and putting some things by the wayside, but I've also picked up 2 new projects. So the first one is Tutoring Online English. So I work with international students, and it's been amazing to meet so many people around the world and get their take on what they think of Americans and the American lifestyle. And some of them, much to my surprise, they all want to, some of this group, let me be clear, not everyone that I've spoken to, but some of this particular group all want to migrate to the United States and build their life here because this is the best country in the world. While another bunch don't want to migrate here at all, but want to go to other countries to build their lives. But they do want to be in an English speaking country, and they realize how vital it is to speak American English. Some learn British English, but they're learning English nonetheless. So while the pay isn't great, the human connection is awesome. Just to be able to speak with people from Saudi Arabia or from Australia or from Ireland, and just people from everywhere across the globe, from the comfort of my own home, mind you, and just talk about their lifestyles and the things that they go through, and know that while we are different in a lot of ways, we are also very similar. So that's been a lovely experience. So on my podcast page, if you click the link and you think you want to try it out, there is a link there where you can sign up and try it out for yourself. It's good. It's side hustle money. It's not pay your car note money, but it may be put some money to the side for a vacation that you're planning for next year money, you know? So the link is going to be there. It'll be clearly identified. And the second exciting project that I've started is becoming an independent paparazzi consultant. Now, I've had an addiction to accessories for most of my life, I think, because I don't know if many of you know that I was a model starting in about the 5th grade. So I used to model for Jordache, and I used to model for Levi's, and I went to the Barbizon School of Modeling. So I did all of that. From that point on, I think I've always loved accessories. Now, makeup, I cannot make up my face to save my life. I can do like a soft beat. I can do, things to make myself look presentable. But honestly, I just prefer a more natural look just for myself. But I also just prefer to look really soft and feminine. Now, I'm not knocking nobody who can do a full face and all these fancy things, because I am so jealous because I don't know how to do it. But for myself, sticking to my lane of what I know how to do is something soft, just a little accent here or there on the eyes, on the lips, things like that. I don't think I could take the time to learn to do all that fancy stuff. And that's just because my life is so busy, as you've heard. So consider this your invitation to join me at the Abundance Socialite Squad so we can earn money together. Now, I just signed up maybe a couple weeks ago. I think, no, not even a couple weeks. It's last week from the date when this will air. So about a week ago, a week and a couple days. And I am learning this on my own. It is very interesting, but I do have a great friend who is helping me. She is my direct upline. I think that's the correct terminology. And for those of you who are in MLM, you tell me if I'm doing it right or wrong, or if I'm using the wrong terminology. But yeah, she's my direct upline. Also a great friend, Rashetta Blackman. So if you want to join me, we can learn this together and we can kill the game together. I'm getting my website up and running. It's called Abundant Socialite, and I will have the link on the podcast page clearly listed as well. So if you want to join, what can you lose? I mean, if you get I started with the starter pack. So that's the lowest one, the lowest tier, a starter pack. Worst comes to worst, you pay for that. And if you're not able to sell it, you can give it away as gifts. You can do something, but that is also just little money I'm putting aside. So for every side hustle I have, it goes into a different account or a different bank so I can save for something else. So don't feel pressured like you have to sell everything right now. But if you want to try to make a little money here and there, why not try something new? And I know you may say that, oh, so many people are already doing it, but so many people aren't you, and so many people don't have your appeal. So the link will also be there. The link will also be there on my page for you to sign up and come on this journey with me. It's best for us to grow and learn together as opposed to doing it by yourself and struggling. So that's about all I had that's on my agenda to talk about. But I'm recording this, and I usually don't date my podcast, on April 10th, 2019, the day after my son's 17th birthday. And I can tell you that it was an amazing birthday for him. So just happy birthday, son. Again, mom loves you. Dad loves you. Sister, brother, everybody loves you because you are amazing. And it's my last child, so it's bittersweet. He's almost 18. And my husband and I will be empty nesters soon. So that's why I have all these side hustles. So reach out to me. I would love to hear from you. This is a shorter episode than usual, simply because I am just getting back into the swing of things. I'm actually going to be going back to work within the next few days. So I want to get everything back up and running so I can get back on a schedule and be here for you guys. My schedule is open. Yeah, open, talk much. But my schedule's open again. I am taking on coaching clients. So I will update my website with my office hours so you can reach me and we can start to book classes and group coaching sessions like we used to do. I'm looking forward to it, guys. In the meantime, be courageous. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Sophia Speaks podcast. We've had the conversation. You have the information. The question is, what are you going to do with it? See you in the next episode.